Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about my cleaning routine because I have a video up that says how I keep my house almost spotless or something like that. Something about my house being spotless. And at that time, my house was completely immaculate. I was a stay-at-home mom. I had my son. I was married at that time. Well, things have definitely changed because I still have my son, but he is now 3 years old. He's not a newborn who takes two-hour naps a day. I am also a single mommy now. I'm no longer married, which changes the dynamic of my household, obviously, because I am now back at work as well. I am in school. So somebody had commented on that video. So I have a little itch here on my back. Somebody had actually commented on that video and said, oh, all of this is nice, but how do you keep your house clean when you're a wife, when you're this, when you're that? They like made this long list, and I was like, well, I get it done, and I'm a mommy. I'm a single mommy at that, and I have a 3-year-old. I am in school all day. I work all night, and you know, I have to make time for friends and family as well, but I also have to take time for my house. So I wanted to give you guys 10 tips that I am currently doing to keep my house as clean as I can. So let's do a disclaimer, because my kitchen is the weakest link in my home. Sometimes things get disorganized. I don't really make my bed when my son isn't home, when he's with his dad. I don't know what it is. I tend to be a little messier when he's not around, and as soon as I know he's coming home, it's like I nest and get everything clean. But the first tip that I have for you guys is to take inventory on your house on what needs to be done. And I usually do this in the mornings. So I kind of just glance around. Now this isn't like I'm going to go around with a notebook and be like overly obsessive about it. I am just going to glance around like, oh, okay, the coffee table has a little bit of dust. The floor looks like it needs to be vacuumed because I do vacuum my tile. You know, there's cat hair here in the corner, whatever it may be. I look around and I pick 1 or 2 easy things that are going to take me maybe 10 minutes or less. So vacuuming my house is super simple. I can get that done in 10 minutes and it looks so much better when I do it. Also, dusting my house can take about 20 minutes. So that's like, what, 30 minutes of housework that's going to make my house look immediately better. Now, when I do those things, I do it when I have the time. I don't do it in the morning because Lord knows I don't have the time, but I do it that day. I find that 20 to 30 minutes to clean what it was that I saw that needed to be cleaned. And I don't make these huge, extraordinary like tasks for myself because I know it's unrealistic. So my second tip is to make sure you make your bed in the morning. So this takes 2 minutes. I have timed myself, and even if my son helps me out, it still takes 2 minutes. I'm watching my shows, I'm doing whatever in the morning. I always make sure to make my bed. Now, I told y'all when my son is in here, I don't really make my bed, but normally I make my bed quite a bit throughout the month, and so it does make a huge difference. When you come home from work, your bed just looks nice and cozy. It makes your room look more put together. It just makes the whole house feel just a lot cleaner when your bed is made. Tip number 3 is to do a 15-minute cleanup each night. So I usually have to come home from school. I spend some time with my son. We eat dinner together quickly. I have to bathe him, get him ready, and then I have to get myself ready for work, which means I have to get all glammed up because I am a DJ and get ready for work. So that doesn't leave a lot of time for housework, but I am finding that these 15 minutes in the evening make a huge significant difference. And you can do whatever you want. Whatever you see, you can do one of those power cleanups, or you can have a goal in mind. Like for me, I like to try to do my dishes and get those done. I don't always get to. I like to try to wipe my counters down, maybe sweep a bit. Whatever I see that needs to be done, I will take 15 minutes. Scoop the cat litter and, you know, get as much cleaned as I can, and I do it as quickly as possible. And you'd be astonished at how much you can get done in 15 minutes. Tip number 4 is to save big tasks for when you're rested. Now, mopping the floors, for me, my whole house is tile and it's 2,500 square feet. That's a lot of square footage to mop by myself, and there's no way I could do it when I'm super exhausted. So I save those kinds of tasks for weekends when I feel rested, and when maybe my son is with his dad, or when he's kind of just like in his own world watching TV, I'll tell him mommy's gonna mop, and the mopping can take me about 30 to 35 minutes for my whole house because my floors don't get that filthy, you know, it's just like a quick mop, but still it is a big task. It takes a lot of energy, so I recommend saving those for when you're really rested and your mind is set to do it. Tip number 5 is a big one. It's no shoes in the house. So I don't do this for guests. I don't make people take their shoes off. I know some people do, but I just don't, because some people get very uncomfortable. But for my son and I, since we are typically the only ones here throughout the week, the first thing I tell him when we come home is we're going to take our shoes off, go wash our hands, or we're going to take our shoes off, go potty, and wash our hands, because, you know, he's 3, so I got to remind him. And the no shoes deal has made a huge difference in the dirt in my home. I can tell you guys that I've seen a massive difference in the cleanliness of my floors. So if you could just do it with just your family, even if it's part of the day, or if you have special shoes that you can just wear inside, try it out and see if it helps you. Tip number 6 is to always take the trash out each night. So in my case, I just use little Walmart bags, and you know, like I said, it's just my son and I, so we don't generate a whole lot of trash, but I make sure and take it out every single night so I have a fresh trash bag for the next morning. Tip number 7 is to get your kids involved. So no matter how small they are, you can start teaching them to clean their rooms. My son knows how to clean his room. He knows where all his stuff goes. He's really loved helping me outdoors. We just cleaned all the front and back porch because we've had a couple of really nice, cool, and sunny days here, so we took advantage of that. He really loved helping sweep the leaves. So don't underestimate your kids, even if they're really little. You'd be surprised at how much help they can be. My son even loves to dust and wipe glass tables off, so he's really good at it too. Tip number 8 is to find one project to declutter each week. And I call it a project because it is. Find one place in your home to declutter, like maybe one cabinet. Don't like make a huge deal of it. That's going to take a million years to do. Like maybe one shelf in a closet, and work, you know, each week. If you're going to do a linen closet, maybe set aside like those 15 minutes and just see how much you can get done, and then continue, you know, the next week if you want to, or the next day. So I tend to typically declutter 1 to 2 things a week. Usually it's on the weekends. Number 9 is to become a minimalist. So as you guys know, a few years back I decided to live more of a minimalist lifestyle. Now, I'm not saying that I'm like a total minimalist, because I'm not. I call myself a semi-minimalist because I don't go out buying tons of cosmetics anymore. I don't go shopping like the way I used to at all. I definitely have become more resourceful with both household things and shopping, you know, and finding things that I need at Goodwill's. And so yeah, becoming a minimalist definitely saves you a lot of trouble when it comes to belongings and having to find homes for them. So you can become a minimalist and see if you can live that kind of lifestyle, and if it's for you, it definitely makes a huge difference in the cleanliness of your home. And my last tip is tip number 10, is to do a good seasonal cleaning each year. So I like to do 2 seasonal cleanings. I like to do one right after winter, which is obviously the spring clean, and then I like to do one right before winter when I'm going to pull all my Christmas stuff out. Or my fall stuff, sorry. That's when I pull all my fall decor stuff out. I like to give my house another deep clean. This really helps to keep things in check, things that you wouldn't really normally do, like doorknobs or like baseboards, really moving furniture, getting underneath things. So do one good seasonal cleaning a year, and then just maintain throughout the year. Just maintain. If you do the maintenance and you keep up with it, life is going to be so much easier, I promise. So those are my 10 tips for keeping your house clean, and those work for me as a busy single mom. I do have a very busy schedule, and my house is still semi-decent. I would say it's 80% clean 80% of the time. So it's never fully immaculate like I would like to be, and it probably never will be. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you love these kinds of videos, be sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and I will see you soon. Bye!